Hey guys, it's Dan here from bedroomstylereviews.com, and in today's video I'm just going to be taking you through my review of this Traxx Pro Performance Executive chair that I recently bought. So just to give you some background, I recently moved house and I bought a desk so that I can work from home, and I didn't really fancy taking my old chair with me because it was making a really bad creaking sound when I moved around, so I wanted to get something new. And rather than going online, I decided to go to a local B&M shop, and I picked up the desk. I've got another video that covers the review for that, and I picked up this Pro Performance chair at the same time, so I managed to get them both in the back of my car, take them to the house and set them up. So in this video I'm just going to do a really quick review. The full review's in, there's a link in the description below. You can click that, you can get all the specs and everything else, and there's also in the second half of this video and in that guide as well, I'm going to take you through the setup process. So if you're struggling with the instructions that have been given to you, in the box, this should help really provide a bit of clarity. So I'm just going to jump straight into the pros. So the first pro is that really this chair, I'm just going to show you, it's actually very well put together, so it's nice and sturdy. So I actually had some problems with the screws, and there's actually a screw in the backrest here, down there, that's actually missing. Yet despite that, it's still actually very sturdy, and when I move backwards and forwards, it doesn't make any noise or anything like that. You can turn around, there's no squeaking. So overall I'm really pleased with how sturdy this chair is, and that it doesn't make any noise. So the second pro is that the chair's actually really comfy as well. So I'm guessing underneath here it's polyfoam, I think, the kind of cheap foam that you get, but it's actually really comfy. So there's a fair bit of depth to it, there's a bit of sinkage in it, reasonable degree of resilience. It springs back to shape, and when I've been sitting in it and working for up to like 6 hours at a time, I've no pressure point pains on my legs or anything like that. So overall, it's a pretty comfortable chair. Okay, so the third pro is that it's actually got a nice sleek design. So I got this chair in the black and the grey, so you've got the grey accent colours there, but you can also get this in red. So if you go onto the website or you go into store, you can actually get this with the black here and the red accent colours, which generally I think looks pretty decent if you're if you're using your chair for gaming and stuff like that. It's quite a nice finish. And the final pro, in my opinion, is that this chair is really well priced. So for £65, I found this to be a lot cheaper than the other chairs that I was looking at online. So in this case, going in store did actually pay off. So I'd say that it's a well-priced chair that offers good quality. Okay, so jumping into a couple of the cons now. The first one is that even though the chair is really sturdy, it's actually only really designed to hold up to 100 kilograms of weight. So if you weigh more than 100 kilograms, you might get away with it, you might not, I'm not sure, but it's not really designed for that. So I weigh about 82 kilos, and it seems to hold my weight just fine, but for heavier people, it might not be the best choice. So the second con is that if you're wanting to use this chair for gaming and you like to sit back, well, in this position it's generally quite good, but if you're looking for some head support, well, there isn't any. So you can see here that the backrest only comes up to there. So for me, I'm about 5'8", so pretty short guy, so really for me this is fine. But if you're over 6 foot and you like to lean back, then you may find that it's not really giving you the support that you want. Okay, so the last con is not going to apply to every single version of this chair, but the one that I got had a few defects in it. So the main one was, you probably won't be able to see here, but the way that the bottom of the chair here attaches, one of the screw holes here was actually defective. So I was trying to put the screw into the hole and turn it in, it just wasn't going in. So at first I thought, I've cross-threaded the screw or something like that. So I took the whole thing apart and I tested every screw in that hole, and it didn't actually fit in. So what's either happened is in the manufacturing process they've either put the wrong type of thread in, or the diameter for the thread's too small. So in my case, a bit unlucky, but even though, despite that, it's actually turned out to be a really solid chair. So in conclusion, I'd say this is actually a really good chair for £65. Now, is it the best chair you can get for £65? Well, I'm not exactly sure because I've not tried every single office chair out, but overall I'd say for this price point it is one of the better options. So if you're looking for a decent, solid chair that you can use for your home study, home office, even gaming, I think this is really solid choice. So if you want to carry on watching, there's I'm going to take you through the actual setup process. So this is actual footage that I took when I was setting it up, or you can click the link in the description below and go and read the full review on bedroomstylereviews.com. Okay, so here we have the Fast Traxx Pro Performance Executive Chair in its box, and the aim is to replace this with that. So I'm going to open it up, take a look at the instructions and see what we need to do. Alright, so that's everything unpacked, and the first job is to put the base together. Okay, so wheels are on. Literally took like 30 seconds. Okay, so now we've got the hydraulics bit. This is kind of greasy, so make sure you don't touch it and then touch your clothes. Basically, you're just going to put that in there, and then you're going to get this weird looking thing and just put it on top. Next job is to attach this hydraulics unit to the base. So what you want to do is make sure you take the bit that says front on here and line it up with the sticker that says front on there, so these holes should all just line up nicely. So we're setting the screws, put 4 in, make sure you leave these holes here free so that you can attach the seat in the next bit. So I'm just going to tighten these up. Okay, so I just want to point something out that's a bit confusing. It's not clear on the instructions, but you've got 3 types of screws. The longest ones, those are for the handle, so you don't need that for the base. Now for the base, you've got 2 different lengths here. So the shortest one here goes into there, okay? So these are the 4 ones that you put in initially here, yeah? The slightly longer ones, you need to save those for these 4 holes because they need to go through a greater depth of material. So that's not exactly clear on the instructions, so hopefully it is now. So I've hit a slight problem. The most awkward part of this by far is trying to fix the back of the chair onto the base. So these screws went in fine, and this one here, it just won't turn into the hole at all. At first I thought it was my fault. I thought I'd maybe cross-threaded it, but I took the entire thing out and I checked various screws in that hole, and none of the screws would go in at all. So unless I've missed something major here, it's I think this is a manufacturing defect. Decided to push past the problem. I'm just going to leave 3 screws in the base, and I've gone ahead and attached the first handle. So to do that, you're going to need the longest screws that you find in the package. Once you've put the screws in, you want to put these little caps over the end. You're going to need a rubber mallet or a hammer to get these in properly. In my case, I got to the last one and discovered that, if you can see here, this one came out of the box all messed up, so I've not been able to get this one into the proper hole. And the final step is just to place the top of the chair onto the base, and you're good to go.